we're going to go ahead and solve this one here. Now, just like the last couple of problems we've been looking at, you may want to try to rewrite this. Now, what could you replace over here with, say, an a to make it easier? Well, you'll notice you have an e to the x that shows up and an e to the negative x. So let's go ahead and say a is equal to e to the x. If we replace all these e to the x's with an a, we would get this. But here we have an e to the negative x, so it's really an a to the negative 1 and an a to the negative 1. Over here on the left, we are trying to solve it for x. Our x is now kind of hanging out where our a was. So we got to solve this one for a. Well, let's go ahead and solve this. Now you might be wondering what just happened here. Keep in mind this is over 1. So let's just cross multiply. Take this times this. And your 1 times this. So that's what I did to get this side here and to get this side here. You'll notice we have a to the first powers and we have a to the negative first powers. Well, the negative first power means 1 over a. So we have this. We don't like to have the over a in the bottom. So we need to go ahead and multiply each side by a. Your ay times your a. Your y over a times an a. Your equals your a times an a. And your 1 over a times an a. Now, we're trying to solve this for a. You'll notice it's quadratic in terms of a because we have an a squared, but you'll notice we don't have an a to the first power. So all we have to do is really get the a squareds on one side, the non-a squareds on the other side. So here's my a squared. I leave it here. Take this to the other side with that a squared, so I subtract it. My y doesn't have an a, so I leave it there. My 1 doesn't have an a, so I'll add a 1 to both sides. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull out an a squared. So now I have an a squared times something. So to get a squared by itself, all I have to do is go ahead and divide. Now to finish this, we really have two options. We could go ahead and take the square root of a and then substitute in. Or, since we're looking for an a squared, and I know that a is e to the x, I could just square the left side, which means I'd also have to square the right side. Left side is this. Here on the right, we have an exponent raised to an exponent. So you got to multiply your exponents. So all we're going to do is to replace your a squared with what a squared is. So we're going to not have this. We're going to write this. Well, when we do that, we just have this here. Now we're trying to solve it for e. I'm not sure e, for x. When we solve it for x, it's in the exponent. Since your variable's in the exponent, we're going to have to use logarithms. Typically, you're going to want to either use a common logarithm or a natural logarithm. Now, since we're dealing with the number e, I'm going to use a natural logarithm. So I'm going to take the natural log of the left side. Then I'll have to take the natural log of the right side. Hopefully you remember that since we're dealing with the natural log of an e, your natural log and your e undo each other. So you're only going to be left with, on the right side, your 2x. Well, we want to finish getting x by itself because it's just multiplied by 2. So to get rid of multiplying by 2, I'm going to multiply both sides by a half, and I end up getting x on one side all by itself.